Hi, Rob Rothrock here with Safe Retirements Group, and today I want to answer a question that we get all the time, and it's how can I ensure that I'm not going to run out of money in retirement? Well, obviously there are many different answers to that question, and everybody's circumstances are unique, but regardless, we have a process that that works, and we're going to explain a little bit about how we go through this process to arrive at the answers to those questions. But first, let's use a sports analogy. Now, even if you hate sports, this should make sense. A professional football team generally plays games once a week, and usually they're on Sundays. Well, and in between games, they're practicing 4 or 5 days a week. Now, from the moment the game ends on Sunday until Wednesday, though, the coaches are putting together a specific game plan for the next opponent. They're studying game film. They're looking at tendencies. They're putting together ways to communicate that plan to the players so they can go out and execute it during the next game. And that's what we do. That's what we will help you build a plan. So let's start with expenses. If you are great at budgeting your expenses and you track that, that's great. But if you don't, it's really time that we do. And so we need to spend some quality time getting to an agreement of what your expenses are. And the other thing we don't want to do is just assume they're going to stay the same. They're not going to stay the same. You may pay off a house in the future. You may take some vacations that you've always wanted to when you have time early in retirement. We need to plan for any kind of maybe one-time expenses or outlays that you anticipate in the future, and possibly some things that you might have for the next 20 years but won't 25 years from now. So we really need to do this. It's very, very important that we do this first. So we have to have an expense plan before we can really put together an income plan. I mean, how do you know how much income you need if you don't know your expenses, right? So once we have that, we can look at, okay, what's my income going to look like? Is it all just coming from Social Security? Do you have any pensions? Do you have an annuity? Do you have real estate? Any other sources of income that you have that's guaranteed income or easy or just about guaranteed income? And if not, maybe we need to reposition some assets that can create some guaranteed income. So that's one thing we can look at doing as well. But we've got to build an income plan on how we're going to withdraw assets in the most tax efficient manner to meet the income needs that you're going to have. And speaking of assets, we need to take a thorough look at your assets. Are they qualified or not? Meaning, is it in a 401k or an IRA or not? Is it a regular brokerage account? Is it real estate? Is it something else? So we need to really get a good handle on your assets so we can start to build the most tax efficient withdrawal strategy that we can. So and then taxes. What are some ways we can minimize taxes down the road? At the end of the day, I mean, over the tax cuts of 2018 mean that for most people, their marginal tax bracket or tax rates actually went down, and they're going to stay that way at least through December of 2025. So if you're wondered about, should I convert an IRA to a Roth IRA, or if you own a business, do I want to contribute or set up my own Roth 401k? I have a whole nother video on that. So, and what are some advantages or disadvantages to that? I mean, we're going to pay taxes one time or another, but we oftentimes having a Roth or having some of your funds in a future tax-free retirement account is beneficial, because if you are a traditional 401k or IRA, when you're 70 and a half, the IRS is going to mandate that you take required minimum distributions out of that, and those are going to be fully taxable. Everything that comes out of a regular IRA or 401k is taxed at income, and if you take too much of it out, it throws you into a higher tax bracket. So we look at all these factors, and then we can really build a plan together. And that's what we do. So that's really it for today. Planning is critical to this entire process. We'll show you our process, and regardless of your circumstances, the process works. So if you are interested in finding out more, give us a call. Click on our website and fill out a form. And that's it for today. Thank you very much.